Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my channel. Now, I've got some great news. I've been reading some articles. This could be really good news for homeowners. It could be really good news for investors as well. So make sure you watch to the end because I've got some great news potentially on interest rates. Now, this channel is all about my investment journey. I'm currently building my portfolio and my two girls' portfolio, and I want to take you along on that journey with me. There's so much going on in the property world at the moment that you need to get up-to-date information. So while you're here, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. I've got new content every single day. So we love a video about interest rates. We love a video about house prices. They're some of the most watched videos on here because you guys just want to know what is going on. We've had so much unpredictability in the last few years, or not so much in the last few years, in the last 6 months really. It's been quite condensed, hasn't it? We've had back-to-back house price drops and the market is definitely on the move. And that's because inflation hit record highs, or really highs for the last 40 years. And that was driven by printing of money. That's driven by potentially we're going into a recession. That's driven by the Ukraine war. There's tons of different factors that are hitting the housing market, and it's hitting your pocket. Quite difficult times at the moment. And so we've seen interest rates go from pretty much zero up to a base rate of 4%. Now, when we were at the most difficult part in the market that we had was around the mini budget. And that's when we had the most uncertainty. A lot of mortgage products were pulled at that time. And at the time, you were able to get rates of around 6.5%, which was really alarming for a lot of people. Now, mortgage companies have changed that view, and Virgin and HSBC have got products on the market at 3.9%. 3.99%. So just under that level that's just under the Bank of England base rate. Now, there's a lender that's owned by the cooperative that are called Platform. And Platform, for a short while, this is already off the market, but they had a rate on the market that was at 3.75%. Now, these guys are known for doing very attractive rates, and so you can get some great deals from them. Now, that led to speculation that could the market actually start getting to a point where we get 3.5% rates? Now, the base rate from the Bank of England is going to keep rising, and we think that that's going to peak out at 4.5%, but we don't know for sure. And all of this is dependent on what happens with inflation. So if we get some sudden surprises and any month leading forward that we don't see that it's still coming down at a gradual or a fast pace, then this might change. But a lot of the big mortgage brokers, so we're talking Charcoal, which is a very big mortgage broker. I've used those guys a number of times. I prefer to use a small independent now, but Charcoal, and there's a company here, I'm just reading the article here, lost my point in it. They are called Premier One Mortgages, and another as well called Broker Home Me. Now, these guys are saying it's not unrealistic that by April or by the summer that we could start looking at rates that we can get way below the base rate, and they feel that we're at 3.5%. On 5-year fixed deals. Now, that is really, really good news and positive news. Now, that's going to help a lot of people because there are 1.2 million people coming off fixed rate deals this spring and summer. 1.2 million people coming off fixed rate deals. And right now, they're probably panicking because they're seeing the rates go up and they're thinking, wow, I'm going to get on at like a 6 or a 7% rate here. But if these people have options and they can look at a lender like Platform, look, if Platforms start going at 3.5%, then HSBC and all these other companies are going to start competing as well. The mortgage works always have very, very good deals, and so they will start bringing their rates down as well. And so that is potentially something that's very, very positive and something that you guys should be keeping an eye on. Now, this isn't guaranteed. There's no guarantee that the rates are going to drop to 3.5%, but it does look possible. And lots of brokers like John Charcoal, they know their stuff, right? They have communication with the lenders, with the banks. They see what's going on in the markets. They have information that we have no idea about. But if they feel that that's a probability, they wouldn't start talking about that in the media, because that will stop people signing up with them now, because they'll wait and see, won't they? They won't do a deal today if they know, right, well, actually, if in 2 months, potentially it could be down to 3.5%, I'll wait, right? And so that is interesting that they've come out with this information. And I hope they're right. Like, I really, really hope that that's right, and we start seeing these sorts of rates. Because if we do see that, those 1.2 million people that are coming off their fixed rates is great news if people can get a way more realistic rate, particularly compared to the 6.5% rates. And even some people were getting 10% in October, November, December last year, or at least offered that high. This is positive news, and I really hope that that happens. Now, we're also expecting that the Federal Reserve in America has potentially a pivot up their sleeve. And so what that means is that their rate rises may start to pause as they see America go into a recession, and they might start cutting rates by the end of the year. So what the mortgage brokers are saying is, we don't necessarily need a rate cut in order to get to 3.5%. What we need is a confirmation or more certainty from the Bank of England that we've peaked at the interest rates. And so if they feel that we've peaked and we don't have many more rises left, that's when this will start to happen. And that's going to really, really positively impact the market. Now, as I said, this isn't a guarantee, but it is something that you could keep an eye on. Some of you on here, you could be in that category of the 1.5 million people that are going to come off the fixed rate. So it's good to keep your knowledge up to date and just know what's potentially coming down the line, because you want to get the best possible deal that you can to give your family more certainty and more predictability in what you're going to get. But what do you think about all of this? Do you think this is all a load of tosh and we're going to be going up to, some of you guys have been commenting here saying we're going to be going up to 15% interest rates. That, I'm telling you now, I'll bet you a house on that. I'll give you one of my houses if you're right. That is not going to happen. That is definitely not going to happen in the next 2 years for sure. But who knows? Maybe you'll come back and in a year, you'll look at this video and you say, look, you said it wouldn't happen. I just don't see that happening. I think the government themselves have got so much debt, so they're going to steer the Bank of England towards making sure that the rates are affordable. And look, one thing that you also may not notice or understand is the government makes so much money with stamp duty. And if you look at if you do a Google search for stamp duty collected by the government, when the market had the major crash in 2008, look at the numbers in 2008, 2009, and 2010. The government wants the property market to do well, because if you look at those numbers, you'll see that the actual revenue that they collected dropped massively. Then look at the figures for 2020, 2021 and 22, how much the government collected in stamp duty then. It makes sense that they keep the property market moving for sure. So go and check that out. Let me know what you think. Give me a quick like on the video, guys. Let's hope we get to this 3.5%. That will be incredible. Check out all the other content on my channel. If you want to know how to buy a property for £1, go and check out this video right here.